What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Thursday. Hope you're having an awesome week wherever you are. Having a look at what's going on, we are seeing some mild red, a little bit of a mix across the board. This is to be expected. We had a very, very green day yesterday, so this is actually quite normal market behavior. Before we get on with this, though, I do want to give a shout out to Robert. He did win the t-shirt yesterday, but he said that size large is unfortunately too big for him. So if you guys would like a chance to win the Bitcoin astronaut t-shirt size large, drop a comment below and we will give that away tomorrow. Again, so having a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Decentraland up 29%, Ravencoin 18%, GX Chain 15%, Walton 8%. A lot of gainers across the board. Now, guys, if you watch my video the other day, I told you about the Decentraland. It was basically making a perfect bull pennant, and I got in. So hopefully you guys took that advice and you were able to ride the wave on that. But if not, there's always plenty of other opportunities. Don't feel bad, guys. Another coin that's been doing quite well is actually Ergo. You guys know Ergo is definitely one of my top picks, and they're up almost 25% today. So they've been experiencing a really, really nice rally after this terrible just sort of sell-off it had when it first came out. So that's another thing too. Like when you look at these ICOs that come out, like even some of these exchange offerings, they do this dump in the beginning. It happens to a lot of coins. Investors just get out. They just, they made their profits and they sell. And as you can see, there's usually a bit of a lengthy accumulation before it pops off. I mean, there's a lot of projects that did that. We can look into all these different kinds as well. But I just wanted to point that out. And obviously going back to the main market cap, we are sitting at 143 billion pretty much. And so yeah, that's basically what's going on, guys. Now, talking about Bitcoin, I did say yesterday that Bitcoin is sort of finding itself in a very crucial zone. I do believe that within the next few days, I'm saying April 2nd by the latest, we're going to see a massive Bitcoin move. It could potentially even be bigger than these swings that we saw over here. Reason being, we are coming up to one of the most crucial points that we've been waiting for literally a year, okay? And, well, actually not, wow, it's been a long time. How long has this bear market been, guys? Are we ever going to get out of it? So, yeah, but looking at it right here, so this right here, this white line represents the downtrend that we've been stuck in. Let me zoom out to show it to you. It's actually this line right here, okay? And this has been a very, very important resistance point. As you can see, we breached it slightly back here in March last year, but we barely stayed above it, right? So we tried here, and then the last one, we had that really bad sell-off, guys. Well, currently, we are approaching it yet again. So if we go over here and we have a look, we are very, very, very close to that. And on top of that, we are also still in this wedge and we're sitting above the $4,000 mark, which is pretty good, right? But downside is even though we've had some nice volume recently, it's still not as high as the volume that we had, even just going back to a few days ago, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, obviously, as we get closer and closer here, I just want to point this out. Look at how the resistance is just holding up. I mean, look at this. Look at that. Literally, the wick touched the line and pulled back. So this is a very, very important, very, very important place to keep your eyes on right now. So yeah, as you can see right here, April 1st, it's going to be a big day, guys. So definitely keep your eyes on that. Also, going back to CoinMarketCap, one thing I did want to point out super quick is you'll notice that the stable coins are up again. Tether is up 0.1%. Where's another stable coin? We have USD coin up 0.3%, True USD up 0.3%. And the last time that we saw the stable coins actually having a little bit of an increase in their value, it was right before this little sell-off here. So I just want to let you guys know, keep you guys in the loop, let you guys know what's going on. But here's some other things we need to point out. So during the month of March, Bitcoin traded within a narrow trading range of around 7.8%. The drop from over 6,000 to 3,100, just to give you an idea, was 50%, give or take, right? So while other assets would be seen as highly profitable with a 7.8% change, obviously in Bitcoin land, it's not that much, right? So it's been awkwardly stable. Not used to this for Bitcoin, right? So the 7.8% trading range, according to MarketWatch, could break the record for the tightest trading range in the history of Bitcoin if March's monthly candle closes within the current 7.8% range. All eyes will be watching the candle close and traders expecting fireworks. Okay, so, we did break out of that 6-month negative red candle, trend, and we finally ended up with a green candle on the monthly. So we are going to see how that goes. They go on to say that low volatility periods in Bitcoin have always preceded prolonged bull runs, especially after capitulation moments of high momentum like we saw in November and December. So the last period of extended low volatility was actually during the 2014 to 2015 bear market when Bitcoin had crashed from over $1,000 down to $200. The drop percentage-wise is very similar to the 84% Bitcoin drop that it had experienced during the current bear bull cycle following the break of its parabolic run-up in 2017, right? Now, looking at the order books, you could see that there does remain a large order block of short interest at 4,050. So that could sort of be like the short-term psychological, let's just get to 4,050, we'll be good, right? And scrolling down here, looking at the weekly chart, we could see that Bitcoin's price is now trading outside of the 20-week moving average, which has acted as resistance throughout the entire bear market. As you can see right here, this is a very, very, very key level. We actually spoke about it, I think it was 3 days ago, and we finally broken out of it. So that is a very, very positive indicator. It does not mean that we can't see some short-term drops, but that is a very good indicator nonetheless. Now, I do want to point out a few other things why, like I said a couple days ago, that we are definitely in phase 3 of the bear market. It's just a matter of, are we going to do that choppy sideways or are we going to do the deep V, right? It's pretty much those two options because that's basically what happens at the end of the bear markets, right? So here's the thing right here. They're saying 3 charts that show Bitcoin is in an accumulation period, which is what most people are doing. I'm doing it. I don't know if you're doing it. I'm definitely accumulating Bitcoin at these levels. I've been accumulating it. And honestly, even if it goes down to 2,500, I'll still keep accumulating because that's my strategy. And I have a very long-term vision for this. So you can see right here, usually, Bitcoin investors purchase Bitcoin above the realized value. Currently, Bitcoin is valued less than its realized value. This rarely happens. So that's number one. Number 2 reason why they could be accumulating is if history repeats itself, if Bitcoin is within the accumulation zone according to miners' revenue, okay, which we can see right here on the charts, they say that miners' revenue may correlate with market tops and bottoms as it is affected by many factors such as market price, hash rate, mining difficulty, etc. And you can see right here, pretty much every time it dropped low, we were basically starting to go back up right here. Every time miner revenue has dropped around 90%, it's been the best time to accumulate. Here's another accumulation phase right before the crazy bull run we had. And now, currently, we're having another phase. So you know what happens. Now, obviously, we know that, history doesn't repeat itself, but it certainly does rhyme now, doesn't it? So I want to not end, we just got started with the video, but I do want to talk about what Tom Jessup said. Now, he's the head of corporate business development at Fidelity Investments. This is him right here. And he had some stuff to say about the markets, and he actually provided another really good argument as to why we are so early. And it actually got me really excited, and I wanted to sort of make this the focal piece today. I want to let you know what this guy said, because like I said, it really just solidified everything I had been thinking. So basically, he talks about institutional investors, right? When's the wave coming in, right? He says they're dipping their toes in, seeing whether the water is nice enough to swim. Behind them stands about $2.5 trillion in funds under management. Now think about just that small faction alone. Considering that the Bitcoin market cap, actually the entire market cap of all cryptos, has never even seen $1 trillion, ever. We've never even seen it. We saw somewhere in the 800 billions, right? Imagine just having 2.5 trillion of these external funds coming in. What that would do to the market. I mean, we've never even seen money like that, right? He goes, look, I don't think that the market's necessarily ready for this. He says, referring to the potential, bringing in these people, who are the type of people that are into like 401ks and stuff like that, right? He says, when you're talking about institutional liquidity, given that many of these exchanges have effectively, have effectively retail order books, the price impact of big institutional orders into a framework like this can be significant. So if they're not buying OTC, right? So the combined market cap of all cryptos and tokens currently stands at about 140 billion. That's one publicly traded stock company. It's just 10% of Apple shares, right? He says the global stock market by comparison is 100 trillion, making cryptos 0.1% of that. Then you have the gold market, which is some trillions, housing, of course, bonds, etc. In many ways, cryptos are the tiny fish, right? As he puts it. And, when you're talking about this 2.5 trillion to be spent, well, yeah. You see where I'm going with this? So he says, we just completed a survey of about 450 institutions. So everything from family offices to registered investment advisors to hedge funds. He says it's interesting. I think about 20% indicated that they currently allocate to digital assets with an intention to grow. Of the folks they allocated, they will increase their allocation on average. They'll double their allocation over the next 5 years. Now, here's something pretty cool as well. We've also seen, quite frankly, even from advisor communities, interest from financial advisors. So you guys know I'm not a financial advisor, right? I pretty much say that every day, but from actual financial advisors. So if crypto is now on their radar, as far as they're seriously considering getting into it as a potential option, then this space is perhaps at the early stages of moving away from the early adopters market to the mainstream one as far as investing is concerned. What we might see in the near future is actual retail investors who perhaps don't have much of a view on cryptos or don't really care about opening finance, but just want a quick answer to say, how should I distribute my $10,000, right? So basically, if you have financial advisors that are getting involved, well, you might start hearing things like, why don't you put 10% in crypto, right? And now that $10,000 that this person is just looking to invest, but they don't really have a lot of knowledge about where to invest it, well, their financial advisor will allocate 1,000 out of that 10,000 into crypto, and boom, that is how it starts. That's the mainstream stage which the space is perhaps entering. For now, it is clearly still an early adopter's playground. What do you guys think about that? This is from Tom Jessup. And these guys they're getting behind it. You got Fidelity, you got Bakkt, you got NASDAQ, so many different, products coming out into the markets right now. So this was a really cool article. It definitely brightened up my day. And once again, if you ever think that you're too late to the party, you're not. You're not late to the party. You're very, very, very early to the party, guys. The party hasn't even got started yet, okay? We're just serving the first cocktail, and it's a pleasure to be having it with you. Now, moving on to some coin news. We do have some coin news. So Cardano is now supported by Ledger. Hooray! Finally, okay? So this is really good. Ledger Nano S support. Obviously, we don't know about Ledger Nano X because it's not even currently available yet, but that is good news. Also, Cardano's had a really, really, really good month as well. Wanted to talk about some news from Hyperledger. They're saying that they welcome 9 new members to its expanding enterprise blockchain community. And obviously, as we scroll down here, we have Quant Network. You guys know Quant Network is also one of my favorite projects currently right now. I'm a huge fan of interoperability. I definitely see the need for this in the space. And the CEO, Gilbert Verdian, actually commented, and he said that we see the immense value of collaborating to bring mass adoption for blockchain technology and contributing with our Overledger operating system, which helps unlock the potential of blockchain technology by addressing interoperability between blockchains as well as existing networks. Our work is driven by the belief that collaboration makes the blockchain ecosystem stronger, which is why the majority of our code is open source. We believe it's crucial to support the development of DLT solutions and Hyperledger projects for enterprises and developers. Couldn't have said it better myself, Gilbert. So that's good news for them. Also, we have TokenPay CEO Derek Capo told CoinDesk that they are making a move into basically purchasing a stake in Heidi Klum's lingerie. So they say Naked, N-A-K-D, also mentioned that they're interested in working with blockchain companies for logistics. We're interested in them accepting TokenPay's merchant service platform so they can accept crypto across all of their brands. So small steps, But eventually we will get there. This is just a little bump in the road on the road to adoption. Now, I also want to just talk about we got to talk about the scammers in the space, right? So apparently New York resident Patrick McDonald, aka Jason Flack, was arrested and charged with 9 counts of wire fraud in Brooklyn court on Tuesday. Basically, this guy was posing as an experienced crypto trader, promising expert advice and offering to purchase and trade cryptocurrencies on behalf of his clients. The service was modeled after that of a stockbroker, but instead he would not only just take fees, he would actually take all of the money. So this started in May of 2016 through Cabbage Tech Corp, aka CoinDrop Markets. So basically, he just stole the money. And whenever anyone would ask, he would just show them a fake balance sheet and then kind of ignore them. And then eventually he would stop responding. So yeah, you could see this guy, he had tweeted, "I'm still laughing that Cabbage Tech is what led to a definition of cryptocurrencies as commodities. Life is truly poetic if you know where to look." And you can see right here, this is like some interview that they did with the guy back in the day. Let's see. Of course.
I contact you and I say, hey, I have a stock service program. We basically send you buy, sell, hold alerts, and you pay us 24 months. Let's say, a $500 fee for a 24-month period. Throughout that period of time, you have people that, maybe one stock trade.
So, yeah, you're going to trust a guy in a Guy Fawkes mask, V for Vendetta. Moving on, talking about more scams, data scientists at blockchain infrastructure firm Elementus have published details of recent transactions from crypto exchange Coinbene that they consider to be suspect. Now, I know that a few people were saying that Coinbene was hacked. Coinbene came out and said, no, they're not hacked. Well, they're saying it kind of looks like it could have been a hack. Just for the fact that you had $105 million in crypto being very quickly transferred out of the exchange's hot wallet. They also talked about in their findings, Elementus. Basically what they said is they're not trying to go against them or to refute what they said, but they said nonetheless, it does present several key observations based on their findings, arguing that the identified pattern of transfers and sequence of events is consistent with how exchange hacks commonly play out. For example, large amounts of funds withdrawn quickly, period of inactivity, remaining funds secured in the cold wallet. So basically, you guys can check this out, but they're saying that it does look like it could have actually been a hack. So is Coinbene trying to cover this up? I mean, they were listed in Bitwise's report as one of the least trustworthy exchanges when it comes to shady volume. So that's one thing to point out. The other thing I want to point out too is we had seen that coin Maximine coin you guys saw how much of a tear it was going on, right? Well, the largest position was the $70 million worth of Maximine. The token had soared 754% since just the start of the month. So looking a little suspicious, guys, looking a little suspicious. If you are interested, though, Cointelligence actually put together a list of what they believe to be the most trusted exchanges. They rated them. I don't know what the highest it could be, but I guess the highest on the list is an 8.7. So you have Gemini, Liquid, Buybox, Bittrex, OKX, Kraken, Bitflyer, Binance, CoinDeal, Exmo, CoinSuper. You guys can, obviously look at this. And as we go lower and lower down the list, you see things like DragonX, which obviously just got hacked. Biloxi is 2.9. That's interesting. Bit4x is pretty low on this list. Let's see what else. There's a couple other ones too. So if you are a little concerned about the exchange that you're trading on and worried about it, you could definitely check this out. At the same time, though, I do not recommend you keep your coins on exchanges. Okay. Moving on, we have some good news. So Vietnam will get its first licensed crypto exchange thanks to an MOU between the Linkton Group, which is the nation's largest distribution group, and Kron Ventures AG, a blockchain company from Switzerland's Crypto Valley. And if that's not enough good news, Japanese financial regulators approved a second cryptocurrency exchange to begin operations this week. It's called Decurrent, which joins an offering from e-commerce giant Rakuten. Oh, so they're in launching of the domestic market. All right, so this is a combination. So with the Rakuten wallet, previously known as Everybody's Bitcoin, next month will mark the first debut of the new-to-market Japanese exchange. So there you guys go. That's 2 exchanges coming out. Now, here's an interesting article, okay? I left this one for the end because, I'm not really very political. I'm not into politics around here, guys. But this is an interesting one. So if you're still sticking around for the video, you're still here, well, then you might be interested. So let's talk about why Trump's controversial Fed pick is massively bullish for Bitcoin. So his latest move to recommend Stephen Moore for the seat of the Fed's board is potentially explosive, with ripple effects that could hit the global monetary system hard. So they say puppet central banks and inflation go hand in hand. So over the long term, this could be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. So some people say crypto is a hedge against the end of the world. This isn't true. It's a hedge against the end of the economic system that we currently employ. So they say consider this plausible if unlikely scenario, okay? So Trump successfully appoints Moore to the board of the Fed and makes him Fed chair, booting out Powell after winning the 2020 election. Loose financial policy continues for longer than is safe given creeping inflation. Trump continues to stack the board with his supporters while national debt snowballs. Civil unrest worsens as wealth inequality rises. Outside investment dries up as investors lose confidence. All this doesn't sound like an excellent situation for the dollar, the bedrock of the global financial system. Enter cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a means to avoid Federal Reserve correlated investments. Hint, hint, everything, okay? By the way, guys, in no means do I want to see the dollar collapse, okay? I live in the United States. It's not something I'm looking for, but if it does happen, I want to make sure that I'm on the right side of things, right? Also, more aggressive institutional investment seems inevitable in Bitcoin for now. There hasn't been a compelling enough reason to spark an influx, but if yes man Moore finds his way to the Fed, the clock has ticked closer to midnight. I mean, just take, for example, this picture from Venezuela. This is literally paper money just spread across the street. I mean, it's worthless. It's literally nothing to these people. So you do have to consider these things moving forward. But one of the biggest things, you do have these guys that need it out of necessity. I agree, okay? But I just wanted to point out something that Crypto Potato brought up. One of the biggest problems is misconceptions and lack of knowledge, right? So to the uneducated, Bitcoin is entirely abstract, something digital with no real value. To the semi-educated, Bitcoin and blockchain might seem like the same thing. That's a problem. There are fundamental differences as well as important cornerstone principles which have to be properly explained and, more importantly, understood by society for the industry to begin gaining adoption. As of yet, blockchain as well as cryptocurrencies in the eyes of the semi-educated person are only designated for payments and finance. However, their use cases are virtually unlimited. So when somebody comes up to me and they say, should I buy Bitcoin? You know what I tell them? No. And then they go, why? And they say, don't you have a crypto channel? I'm like, well, do you know what you're buying? Do you understand what you're buying? Or are you just buying it because you think the price is going to go up, right? So that could be a big situation. However, talking about the price though, because I know that is why a lot of people are here, don't be like Tom. Well, Bitcoin has just stabilized at almost exactly $14 a coin. I'm tired of waiting for a jump, so I'm taking the loss and getting my cash back. Do not be like Tom. That being said, I want to say thank you so much to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys freaking rock. If you guys haven't had a chance to pick up a Ledger Nano X, they are still on pre-order. You guys can use the referral links below if you're interested. That definitely helps the channel out. Also, if you're sick of watching these ads, you can download the Brave browser. If you use my link, you do get $5 worth of basic attention tokens to use on the platform. I am a verified creator. And that's about it, guys. That's enough for me today. It's Thursday. We're looking forward to Friday. It's always a fun time when the weekend rolls around, right? But as usual, I will be here every single day. I freaking love you guys. You're the reason that I get up and do this every single day. And thank you so much. So if you haven't got subscribed, what are you waiting for? Also, join the Telegram group, totally free. We love talking about crypto day in and day out. That's what we do. And that's it for me. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.